We all know that we always get success by failure. In this video, we will see from the Steve Jobs story how he was successful. Apple's co-founder Steve Jobs is no longer in this world, but he will rule in the hearts of crowds of people for the time being due to his innovation. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 in San Francisco, California. Steve Jobs died of cancer on October 5, 2011. He narrated stories related to his life in Steve Jobs' famous speech, "Stay Hunger, Stay Foolish." Steve Jobs enrolled in college at the age of 14. During his studies, he felt that all the earnings of his parents are spent in college studies. At that time, he was not able to understand anything. They did not even know what they would do going forward. After all, he decided to drop college and thought that he would do something that would help parents. At that time, his decision was not right, but later he felt that his decision was right. At that time, he had no room to live, so he used to stay in his friend's room and sleep on the ground. They also sold cake bottles so that they could eat the money they got from them. He used to walk as many as 7 miles and then used to go to Krishna temple so that he could eat food. Reed College was very famous all over the world for calligraphy. The entire campus of that college had beautiful posters made by hand. Seeing this, Steve Jobs became interested in studying calligraphy. He learned serif and sans serif typefaces. He created typography by adding different words from the same typeface, which consists of dots. After 10 years, he designed the first Macintosh computer. This was his first computer design. If he did not come out of college and did not study calligraphy, then he could not make it. When Steve was 20 years old, he started Apple in a garage with Wozniak. Both of them put a lot of hard work in it, and in 10 years, those people reached very high. Started in a small garage, the company reached 2 billion people and employed as many as 4,000 employees. Those people together released the best creation, Macintosh. As the company grew, those people chose a talented person to take over the company. The first year did a very good job in the company, but the vision of those people regarding the future could not be fulfilled. When Steve was 30 years old, he was fired from the company. At that time, he felt that he had been removed from his own company. After this, in 5 years, Steve started a new company called Next. After this, he created another company called Pixar. After this, the Apple company bought Next and Steve returned to work at Apple. This technology gave new life to Apple. Steve Jobs was successful enough to revive the company and bring it back in the same successful phase as it had in the 70s. His vision of relentless innovation made Apple a huge success. Everything was back to normal and going perfectly well, but unexpectedly, what utterly shocked the world when he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer of the pancreas. Jobs declined to see and obtain any medical care from a doctor. Instead, he turned to natural techniques such as dependence on herbal juices, vegan diets that he felt would cure his disease. But his plans backfired, fatally worsening his health. He resigned from Apple after a few years when Jobs could no longer work normally. He continued to work at Apple and died calmly, surrounded by family 6 weeks after his last day of work. Although the life of Steve Jobs was short, his legacy still continues. His life is an example for millions that how failure can bring new opportunities in life and how to restructure the failure into a success story.